Hi there everybody, welcome back to Prestige Auctions. It's auction aftermath time. This was for auction yesterday, which was the 1st of February already. What a great auction it was, over 1,300 lots, about 1,350 I believe. We knew it was going to be quite a long day, but we didn't expect the room to be quite as busy as it was. Lots and lots of people buying, selling different items, and buying to sell different items, but also a lot of privates in there once again looking for decorative items for the properties. I think when I looked at the auction this week, I was just a little bit, I'm not so sure about this one. It's got a lot of decorative items, but where's the value? Anyway, how wrong was I once again in terms of value? There was some great stuff in the room, so let's have a look at what was sold at the auction yesterday as we go onto the catalogue here. Well, the first sort of shocks that came was right at the start of the auction with things like these resin horses and things that, generally speaking, you just kind of look at and think, oh, that won't make much money, but these were really making some money. And, sort of 40 odd quids and stuff. And ones like this, I mean, they were large, they were decorative, and a lot of stuff that came from various properties that we did like this last week did quite well. This one here was the shock to me because that didn't do very well, that one. And, and I think it shows that when you look it up against something like that and that and that, people are going for a completely different look these days. They're not necessarily looking for that old-fashioned look anymore. These always do well. Elephant plant stands, we sell so many of them. Things like this. There was a few exotic figures in the sale this week, and then stuff like this one as well, and then sort of stoneware. I think that did well. I think that did 30-40 quid. Vases and stuff were quite cheap. Even boxes of tins were doing well. So when you look at all the kind of stuff that we were selling early doors, it was all doing fair money. What I would say is Lisa, bless her, she absolutely had so many commission bids to do this week. It was insane. There was so many. We were sat doing them till God knows what time when we got home on Friday night. And I think, people wanted to leave the bids, but then people came and bid up in the room as well. So when it came to stuff like this, look, again, not valuable, but decorative. All these pieces here were doing real money. And normally, on a normal week to week, so people say to us at Prestige, why do you break stuff down so much? You go into some other auctions and stuff like this, would be in boxes with 2 and 3 others. And well, it's because it's the way people want to buy. People want to be able to buy this stuff. They don't necessarily want to walk away from an auction with boxfuls of stuff. They want to buy stuff that they want to buy, not all the stuff that comes with it. The Castrol tin there, that was another one that did okay as well. Really started slow though. No bid on the book, I remember, for that one. And then all of a sudden it ended up at 20 odd quid. So once again, a good purchase for somebody. Even things like the hands were selling for a few pounds. I think they did 10, 15 quid or whatever it was. And again, looking at stuff like this gives you a good overview rather than us just telling you how we want you to buy the stuff for the auction, but showing you afterwards why we think it's a good idea to watch these videos, these aftermath videos, to get an idea of what people were doing and why people were buying. The boats were okay. So we had a run of boats, and the resident boat buyer is back. He wasn't interested in these little ones or the Victory, but he started sticking his hand in the air at this one there. And the resident boat buyer is back. He's back with a vengeance as well, and he's buying a few boats again. Bless him, Pete. He does love his boats. And then we come down here. There was more decorative pots. CDs, of course, were doing quite well, as they always do. And then the boxes of plated ware were selling well. Again, 30 odd quids a box, which is fair money for those. They are, at the end of the day, just electroplated. So stuff like this, decorative again, was selling well. All of these decorative pieces here. We don't want to talk about this one too much, but there you go. That one sold as well. And then we got so people was asking about these. What are they, tusks? No, they're just resin. They're just resin pieces that look the part from the day. So people can have them without the thought of anything with to do with any animals, which is good. The masks sold well as well. Some of these sort of Asian masks, and there's some Malaysian ones as well. I believe these ones are Malaysian ones, and they always have sort of weird things like little tusks and stuff like that. So the wedding dresses, they sold as well, and there was money in the room for this as well, for this old telephone. Nice old stick telephone, but it's got the dial rather than the push button, which is more desirable. So if you're looking out for things in charity shops and stuff, always go for the ones with the dials. They're the better ones, especially the original ones like that. There was also money for these. Several of these that came up around the room, they was doing good money. I want to say it's sort of 70, 80 quid, somewhere around there, but it may have been a bit more, but you know, they were doing well as well. We came down here and started doing the Ladro and the Neo pieces and that, which all sold okay. Bits and bobs on the pine shells this week were all selling, but they weren't making massive money, but then we didn't expect them to. But again, decorative pieces like this, I think there was 20 quid in the room for that. Again, probably the sort of thing, because it's just a plated outer that you could buy relatively cheap elsewhere. When you look here, the pig, and then the pigs there, and then down here you've also got more sort of brass things and bronze or whatever they were. I didn't really get to look at these, but the dogs, there was money for those as well, sort of 40, 50 pounds again as well. So, you know, people they were in the buying mood yesterday. It could have been that it was so long since they've been paid. Of course, yesterday was sort of the end of the month, or the beginning of the month, so people have been paid since that long time before Christmas. These little sets of scales, there was money for those as well. And the Guinness thing, modern Guinness item, but I think that one made about 30 or 40 quid as well. But again, it's a nice thing if you've got a home bar or something, you know, it's a piece to have. So as we come down here, and of course the other great thing is as well, you're in front of it in the auction room, so you know it's okay, you know it's not broken and all the rest of it. You can just take it away and stand it up. Now we came onto the jewellery cabinet. The jewellery cabinet was awesome. So where do we start in here? Let's come down to the relevant bits. So we went on to, we'll go the whole cabinet. So we started off with these sort of semi-precious stone earrings and things. There was 4 and 5 quids for these. They were cheap money. They were there to buy, and people were buying them. We knew the one that was going to do the few quid, which is this one here, which was the Tiger's Eye one. Tiger's Eye 70s look has gone through the roof recently. So this one here, I think it ended up doing 30 odd quid, something like that. So again, nice little necklace, all brand new, still tagged and that. And then we got onto the silver charms. Well, the silver charms this week were a little bit different. We had a football there, we had a miner's lamp, Cinderella's carriage, we had a train, and then we had the field guns. That one there was the wise old owl, and then another field gun. And these we're doing anywhere sort of between £6 and £20 each. So there was some nice items. The steering wheel, I love that. I haven't seen that one before. So the nice steering wheel, probably late 60s. I'm going to say for 60s on that one, I think, actually. Maybe into the early 70s. Sterling silver. Can be worn as a pendant or as a charm as well, and they were all doing reasonable money. Then we got onto these bits of silver that did well as well. The silver pendant there, the bangle, the rings, the cap with the extra long tail, and the lovely little charm bracelet. You know, there wasn't really the charms on that to sort of take off, maybe bar the pound one there, but so we kept that one as it was, and it did the money anyway. This was quite good. 309 was the diamond ring. With the baguette diamonds, that did well. I want to say it's about 140, 150 pounds, something like that. I'm sure the vendor will be quite pleased with that. But here was the shocker, 310. A nice bag of notes. Some people know the history of these and where they came from. It's not up to me to say, but they was bought for a lot less money. They sold for £120 in our room yesterday. That's all I'm going to say on those. Anyway, then we move on to the false coins. And then we got onto the magnificent gold. Well, the gold, there was some lovely gold charms and pendants, the boxer dogs, and I think nearly every piece sold. There was just the odd bit that didn't. That lovely little 9-carat gold biplane. What a superb little piece that one is. The racehorse, another stunning piece. You don't see these anymore. Most of them got melted down and turned into something else as the gold prices went up. So when you find these, you know, it's worth splitting them off and selling them separate. The little 9-carat gold golf clubs there. That was a silver gilt boxer ring there. That did more money than it did elsewhere. And then this one here was the pig playing the fiddle. Then we got onto these, which I'm going to talk about in another video as well, in this week's auction finds video. So I'm not quite sure where I was with those, if I was right or not. I'll have to look back on the video. But there it is. 325 was the 9-carat gold ingot. I think it did about £880, somewhere around there. As we come down here, we got onto the gold chains. They were all selling well. They were all selling above scrap. It was a good lot of gold to have. This here, somebody bought this one. Said they was quite pleased with this. This is all crystals from Royal Caribbean cruise liners, and they was quite happy with the price they got that, and they felt there was a good profit in there for the resale market. So as we come down here, let's have a look. As you can see, I mean, normally I won't get to show this many pictures singularly, but there was just so many good items. What a fantastic canteen of cutlery. What was so special about it? Well, if you look here, you know, normally they're in a flat box like that, and this one had Queen Anne legs on it, so it just stunk of a little bit more quality, which means it would have been more money to buy originally. We got onto the back shelves of electronics. We did have a lot of projectors in this week, and the thing is, the projector market is not very good these days. There wasn't much money for that sort of stuff. As we come down here, we had Winnie the Pooh and a fluffy dog. We had some monitors and various pieces. We did the room slightly different this week, just because we wanted to get the smalls out the way before we got onto the bigger stuff. And there was a lot of them. We had telephone interest this week for the Freds. So again, the retro look. Fred, of course, was the Home Pride man years ago. And this one here was a good set because you had the big ones, which was the flower holders, you had the salt and pepper pots, and other bits and bobs. So, you know, these are nice bits to get hold of these days. Again, not millions of them around anymore. So, you know, if people are looking for that old look, then they can certainly find it down at the local auction room. As we come down here, we did some nice lamps. There was varying money for those, but there was a piece on top of that cabinet. Have I just missed it? Where's it gone? There it is, that one there. So the centerpiece there, which was a vase with the leopard print sort of thing, or whatever it is. Is it leopard print? Not leopard, is it? Anyway, whatever, tiger print. 40, lot number 40, 479, I think it was there. Looked like 47. That made 40 something pounds, something like that. And well, I unwrapped that out of a box and I didn't see it doing that much money, but it did. And Popeye did a few quid as well. There it was, the old Popeye money box. Again, retro is good. Retro is making money at the moment. As we come down here, that was a good box as well. Another one there, look. And a lovely canteen box. Not complete. You can see there's bits missing, or maybe they're in there. But there was a lot of extras as well. The drawers. The canteen box is a lovely, lovely box, that one. As we come down here, we had chess sets. There was money for chess sets as well. And at sort of this point, we're getting up to the point where Lisa took over, I think. Oh, no, we're not yet. We did all the Lloyd's registers. They did £10 a box, somewhere around there. There was money, and there was money for this, but I knew there would be money for this. I quite fancied this myself, but I didn't end up buying it. This is all the old cine films. A lot of pre-recorded stuff, dinosaurs. There was cartoons and all sorts of stuff. I think I want to say it did about £80, something like that. But still value, I thought. Still good value at that sort of money. We had the old tea caddy there, the nice old tea caddy that had tea in it still, and then this head there, and that did some money as well. So again, you know, lots of interesting stuff in the auction this week. I think people had a bit of a blowout. They wanted to buy. They were spending. They were really worth spending this week. Went through, and we got through the middle of the room, started selling some of the boxes, and then we got on to, I'm sure Lisa was on here at this point now, and because I don't remember selling any of this, so I'm not quite sure what sort of money this lot did, but it would have been quite good because there was money for this kind of stuff, for the decorative stuff this week. So I then should have gone through the Hoovers. Again, I was not even in the room, so I'm not sure what these did. Maybe we ought to get Lisa on. I heard she was taking the mickey out of them pans there. Anyway, that's the way it is. So we come down here, we got onto the back tables. She was selling money boxes and stuff, and then DVDs, CDs, again, we're all selling okay. And then I think I took over. Did I take over here? No, I think Lisa was still on at this point, still selling all the boxes of trinkets and things. And then she sold all the boxes, all the bags of teddies once again. So again, don't just discard teddies. There is money to be made in them. And there was the is it the Art Nouveau mirror? Is that the one there? I think it could be that one. Yeah, I think that did £62, I believe. A lot of dealer interest in for that one. So tells you a story. As you come down here, we got into the back room. We sold the Kevins and the Meerkats. The Squishies all sold. In fact, to be fair, most of the stuff around the back room sold this week. You know, it can be a struggle some weeks, but there was a lot of stuff, a lot of boxes of games and toys and dinosaurs and all stuff like that was selling. Books are selling as well still. So again, everything was selling quite well in there. We got into the back room, onto the tools and things, and again, there was good bidding going on in this room. I think that was the world's biggest ever roll of strimmer wire there. Look at the size of it. You'd never need to buy another, would you? You could probably pass it on generation to generation. As you come down here, there was more tools, various bits and bobs, all of the rusty gold that we find in house clearances. This stuff, you know, this is just a word of warning to everybody. This sort of stuff, the old Black & Decker stuff, is struggling these days. If it's old design like this with wires on, it's not selling. These didn't sell yesterday. So be wary of those. If you look at them in a boot sale on a charity shop, they're 50p a pound, whatever. Yeah, it might be only be 50p or a pound, but is it worth buying if it's absolutely not going to sell? The bendy bloke there, he sold okay. There was money in the room for that as well. Bendy bloke, was that used to be on the snooker program years ago? I think it was called. There was 30 odd quid for the swing, and you know, people have got sort of one eye on the spring as well, getting the gardens done. People were buying for gardens yesterday. Sadly, this here.
Welcome back to Prestige Auctions. We've got another Luton van in the sale for you this week. It doesn't.
I actually put a video on into the pictures, but sadly that didn't sell. 2,200 reserve if anyone's interested, but that one didn't sell this week. Anyway, as we come down here, which was a surprise really, because Luton vans are not cheap to buy. Anyway, the garden arch, that sold well, and then we had quite a few tools, and the Coca-Cola table, you know, there was money for that as well with the Coca-Cola chairs, but it was just a little bit different. I think it made £40. As we come this way, more garden ornaments, lawnmowers starting to pick up a little bit now, again, with people who've got one eye on spring. There was money for this one as well, for the King of the Ring Boxing Championship legend, this punch bag there, because it's a floor standing one rather than having to be hung from a ceiling or something, which is obviously a lot more desirable for people. As we got to the front table, down here we had all of these various that thing of watches there did £130. Well, these were all one of these weekly things or 2 weekly things where it was all military watches from over the years, copies of those. There was money for the Airfix kits and things this week, and the Revel kits. Again, don't ever pass them up. If you see complete ones of those, they do good money in the auction room, so get them down to us. Don't forget, we have got a toy sale coming up as well, a music sale next month, and then toys after that, trains and everything. So there you go. Right, just 1 second. Sorry, I thought somebody was after me then. Right, okay, so as we go down here, we come to the appliances. Appliances, there weren't loads of them this week, so they didn't do too much money, 30, 40 quids and things. But there was money for these big clocks. Now, these big clocks here, you know, one was 80 odd quid, I believe. That one was 100 odd pound. So there was money for that sort of thing this week, which, you know, isn't always the easiest thing to sell. What the good news was this week, all of the cabinets, all of the bookcases, all of the wardrobes sold. Even the old 50s, 60s unit there, even though it only made 3 quid, it sold, so it goes on to another life. Pine units, stag chests of drawers, twin pedestal desks, all sold. And then we moved on to some of the Oriental style furniture. And again, there was bidders in the room, a lot of healthy bidders looking for this one. The drinks globe, that one sold as well. And literally, as you went round, most of the items sold. By the odd little coffee table, there's money for that one as well. This blanket box, Oriental style, that sold as well. The wheat table, and that sold after the sale. It didn't sell during the sale, but it got 3 quid afterwards. The speakers were making money. Do you know what? Just an amazing sale, really. So much of it sold. The piano sadly didn't sell, but when you come down here, the imitation Chesterfield, that sold. There was good money in the room for this one as well, though I thought that would have done a little bit more. It's still a nice piece, Oriental inlaid. The camphorwood box, there was money for that, and the bean bag. And we ended up at the end of the day, there was a bit of a bargain there at 50 odd quid with the mobility scooters. They've been doing good money recently. And then at the end of the sale was this set of books, and I think they did 60 odd pounds. They forgot to lock them up last week, but again, good money for everything. So there you go, everyone. Another cracking week at Prestige, and we ain't even started yet. The backups are chocker. They're not just full. I've never seen them so full. All of the clearance area space is full. We've got a great auction for you this next week. Whether we're going to get it all in is another thing, but we have got BSA Bantam motorbikes, we've got a rifle collection, we've got so much vintage furniture and all sorts of other stuff. But generally speaking, it's going to be a cracking week. We're looking forward to it, so I'm going to go and get on with it right now. Leave you lot in peace, and we are going to be back tomorrow night with the sneak peek, of course, and then hopefully you'll see some items in there that you want to buy for the following week. Don't forget, we'll be viewing again next Friday, and then another auction on Saturday. Thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you all very soon at the auction.